watching me eat a pumpkin gob and get more and more sleepy because of it. I am so sleepy. My goodness, that was good. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Thanks for being with us on this Wednesday morning. Each Wednesday in the month of October, we talk with the folks from IRMC. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we sort of hit it from a different angle every week. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Dena Diehl is with us, and she's been here before, Nurse Navigator in the Cancer Center. And Carla DeCarlo is with us as well. Carla, you're the manager of the Imaging Center, right?
That's correct.
Well, it's good to have you both with us today as we talk about breast cancer and what each of you are doing in that arena. Dena, of course, we'll start with you as the Nurse Navigator. Okay. Your role is a really, really vital role. You're sort of like the link that connects the chain, the two ends of what happens with breast cancer when a case is presented to IRMC. Correct. Good morning to you, and let's tell folks again what the Nurse Navigator is all about.
Okay, so I follow our patients from their first suspicious recommended biopsy or test the whole way through their treatment until like a year after they're done with their cancer treatment. Mm-hmm. So I meet them right away at the beginning of this whole process, and I'm with them till the end.
You do more than just hold their hand through this journey, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So let's take the average. I know there's no such thing as an average case of breast cancer. Somebody comes in and has that diagnosis of breast cancer. What's the first thing they're going to encounter when they walk into the cancer center and they meet you?
Well, then before their diagnosis or after?
However you want to take it.
We give them their diagnosis, and then we guide them, set them up with the doctors that they're going to see next, the surgeon and the oncologist, and we guide them where they are, and we give them education and educate them on what the process is going to be. And
you probably, excuse me, you take it probably by a case-by-case basis, and because the pathway is going to be different for everybody, right?
Pretty much. I mean, there are a lot that are pretty similar, but a lot of ladies are different.
Yeah. And does it get mapped out by the surgeon or the oncologist?
They both work together to form a treatment plan for them, yes.
All right. Well, when we get that diagnosis, frequently, Darla, your department is going to be involved in this. The mammograms, we talk so often about mammograms and about the various other services that help to diagnose breast cancer in somebody. Tell me about what you do and what your department does.
So basically my role is to clear the way for the staff to have the resources that they need, the educations that they need to do the job that they need to do to get these ladies to the finish line. Mm-hmm. We have, I believe, 7 mammogram techs who are all certified in mammography. We have now 11 ultrasound techs who are all certified, and they work with each other. Whenever there's a patient will come in, they get their screening mammogram. Mm-hmm. The radiologist takes a look at it, and then they'll recommend that the patient comes back. Oftentimes it's for additional mammogram pictures, and sometimes it's for a mammogram and an ultrasound. Mm-hmm. And the mammogram techs will take a look at it. They'll go over and talk to the ultrasound techs, and it's that front line collaboration that get the best pictures so that the radiologist can make the best reading to take the ladies to the next step. And sometimes that means then we hand them to Dena to schedule biopsies, and sometimes it's no, that was a nothing, and you can go back to a yearly screening mammogram.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of education that goes into the frontline staff, and very proud of them for doing all that they do.
Mm-hmm. As IRMC in the last several years has really upped its game, if you will, in the breast cancer field. We talked to Dr. Villamoria about this a couple of weeks ago. The idea of accreditation and what that means to the patient coming in, it's a really important step in the whole process, isn't it? For them to have the confidence that they need.
Sure, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And when Dr. Dan Clark came on board, he was the one that really shined the light on what we need to be. And, he would say, why are you people not accredited through this or through that? And we're like, well, we don't know. And for a long time, we would have patients that would come in and surgery was the recommendation, and they would go someplace else for the surgery. And I often thought, why? We have everything here. And whenever Dr. Clark came in, then we were able to take a look at it and say, we already have all this. So then where my role came in was putting the dots on the I's and the crossing on the T's and getting everybody on, we just all got on the same page to submit what we needed to submit to. One was the American College of Surgeons Coalition on Cancer. The other was the American College of Radiology. And we have the highest accreditations from both of those for the breast centers.
Yeah.
And it is it's a pleasure to be able to be part of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dena, it's more than just getting a piece of paper and something to hang on the wall. It's more than just a plaque or a certificate. It really means that you've taken some extra steps to make sure that you're doing everything that is absolutely necessary and possible, really, in the treatment of breast cancer. Yeah,
that's correct. We've put a lot of time and work into this, and everybody's worked very well together to accomplish this goal, and it's great.
Yeah. And so that being the case, and you having been there for a while, and I don't know, Yvonne or Darla, have you been there for quite some time as well?
I've been an employee of IRMC for 35 years.
For 35 years. So you know your way around the hallways.
Yeah, one or two of them.
So all that being the case, you have a basis for comparing what it used to be like and what the atmosphere is now. What I pick up on from just the visits that we get here and from talking to people who have been through the breast cancer process, Dena, is that it's really an upbeat atmosphere, and it's an aggressive, at the same time, cautious approach. We don't want to go too far in our aggression, but we want to be sure that we're taking every step necessary to come up with the best outcome.
You're right, yes. And I think a benefit that we have compared to hospitals in the city is we can get these patients in quickly and move their process along fast, which is really nice because, they're scared and nervous. And from the time they're diagnosed till their surgery, it's really only a couple of weeks. So that's a benefit that we offer here, and it's great.
Yeah. And a big part of that is the fact that they're not having to drive 60, 80 miles.
It's all here. Yeah.
It's all right here. And that's a big benefit for their family, too. You, of course, dealing with families, that they're a whole part of this process, and they have to be included. And if they're having to drive 60, 70 miles in order to do that every day, that's not an easy thing.
It's not. And, even for the patient, you have to take off work. You have to coordinate everything with family to help you. So it is a lot that, to go through, and it is nice that you don't have to travel.
Not every breast cancer case is the same. Not every breast cancer case has the same outcomes. But as Darla would tell you, and I know as you would say, Dena, the earlier that diagnosis comes,
absolutely,
the better your chance of having the absolute best outcome.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that we've struggled. On the early onset of COVID, we were mandated to not do screenings for some time. So that kind of put a hurt on us as far as being able to get the screening mammograms turned around quickly. But I just implore to the community for those not to be discouraged as far as don't not schedule it.
Yeah.
Get on the schedule, get yourself taken care of, and we'll get you taken care of.
Dr. Clark was right on top of that right from the start. He recognized the dangers of people waiting to get the basic screenings done that you need to get done. If it's your time, you need to get that done. And there was a certain fear factor to overcome, wasn't there, when the pandemic came?
Yes, a lot of ladies were afraid to come in.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's the case now.
I don't think so either. The one thing that we did have to change, we used to have a walk-in Monday mammogram program that everybody could just walk in at their leisure.
Yeah.
And we can't do that now because we can't assure the social distancing and so forth that we need to maintain. So we do ask that everybody calls. I want to say that we have openings often at Chestnut Ridge. So if you will drive down to Blairsville, a lot of times we can get you right in down there.
Yeah, and for people in that area, of
Sure.
course, it's a great advantage too. But with the 3D mammogram available there and here on main campus, you're going to get your appointment. And it's going to be pretty timely, and you need to do that
Yeah.
Yes.
because
Yes.
we've talked so frequently with people about how urgent it is to keep on schedule and to catch it early. If it's going to be there, you get a chance to catch it early. It can go from being a very, very minor procedure, even sometimes you can catch it before it becomes breast cancer,
Sure.
and you can turn it into a really great outcome. More difficult if you catch it a little bit later and it gets to stages, but still, the way that this field is advancing, Dena, it's amazing to me.
It is amazing. Even the treatments have changed so much,
Yeah.
and it's benefiting the patients. It's a lot. They have immunotherapy, which they don't have to get chemo anymore, and they all don't even do radiation anymore. So it's nice that we've come to this point.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty amazing that how technology advances, and in this particular field, I think of the Love of Life 5K, which was just run over the weekend.
Yes.
And the amount of people that take part in that shows how much and how many people care about beating breast cancer. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it was a great event, even though it rained, but it was great.
It was pouring down rain,
Yes.
and you still had about a zillion people showed up for it. It was just terrific. Okay, ladies. So we've told people how important it is to get your screening and to keep it on a regular basis. We've told people as well that you need to call and make your appointment. So how do they do that?
The best way is to call the scheduling center, and that's 724-357-7075. And those ladies can hook you up with an appointment. They do a wonderful job finding the first available appointment.
Yeah.
That's the most direct line
And
to get.
Also, for a screening mammogram, you don't have to have a physician order, so you can just call and get it scheduled. So
That's
that's another
important.
plus too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very important.
That's a Pennsylvania law.
And all you need to do is call that number 357-7075
Yep.
and say, I want to schedule a mammogram.
Yep.
That's all you have to do.
That's all you got to do.
All right. Ladies, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Todd.
having us.
Take a gob on your way out. won't you? It is the voice
Bye-bye.
of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. And coming up a couple of moments, Boomer has the CBS Sports Minute. It is a Wednesday morning. AccuWeather telling us this is a gorgeous day today. We're going to have today mostly sunny skies, 68 degrees, clear to partly cloudy tonight and 51. Tomorrow will start out okay, but get a little bit more cloudy in the afternoon, breezy with some showers moving in. 69 tomorrow, and then rain possible for Friday and Saturday, partly cloudy Sunday. We're in the 50s, probably mid to upper 50s.